Hello everyone, a very good afternoon. My name is Ashutosh Srivastava and I am working as a Magento developer from last 2.5 years, and I am working on Magento 2 from its inception. Today my topic is code generation in Magento 2. Since it is a relatively new approach in Magento 2 that is used, it was not used in Magento 1. Code generation simply means, as Vipin sir has already explained, that code generation means creation of non-existing code. Code simply means classes. That those classes which are not present in current Magento code base, code generation will simply create those classes on the fly. Magento 2 uses reflection for that. Since reflection is very slow process, that's why Magento 2 has provided a compiler. Most of you who is using Magento 2 must have used DI colon setup to compile it.
It's not visible.
Setup colon DI colon compile. What this command does is it simply create all the non-existing. It will simply check all the DI.xml dependency files, and it will check for factory classes, proxy classes, and interceptor classes. As Rahul sir already explained about interceptor classes, these are used for plugin system. So these classes generated at the time of compilation in your var generation folder. Var generation folder is located at the root of the Magento code base. So here what we are going to do is to ask some question to ourselves that what is code generation, why Magento 2 uses code generation, and how it is going to be used in Magento 2. So what is code generation? Code generation simply means the creation of non-existing classes that I have already explained. Now, what is the need of code generation in Magento 2? There are many uses of code generation, like dependency injection, which is a new concept in Magento 2. It was not used in Magento 1. Magento 1 provides a class make class that was responsible for the creation of objects all over in the Magento 2. Whenever you want to create an object, you can simply call the main class get method, get singleton methods to create those objects. But Magento 2 has replaced that make class with the dependency injection design pattern. It is a design pattern. Design pattern simply means that if you are having a problem repeatedly in your project and you want to solve that problem, you can use design patterns to solve those problems. Design patterns simply provide a solution for a repeated problem. So dependency injection is one of them. Using dependency injection, it says that you don't need to create the object inside a class. The object creation responsibility should be transferred to any other class, any third class. Like if you have two classes, if you have a class A and you have class B, and the class A needs B object to do some task, what A is going to do? A will instantiate that class B object inside A, and then it will call the methods inside B through B as object. But what dependency injection says, do not create the object of B inside A. Call someone else, call C. That is, all the responsibility of creating objects will be of C, and he will call C. He will tell C to create the object, and C will fetch the object from B of B, and it will return the object of B to A. That's what dependency injection says. That doing this, unit testing becomes easy, since using unit testing you have to mock the objects, and if you are creating all the objects inside A, all the other objects inside A, then it is going to be very difficult to mock this A's object. That's why Magento 2 uses dependency injection design pattern. Now, if as a developer, if you are using dependency injection, if you have to follow some certain rules like dependency inversion principle. Dependency inversion principle says that if a high level class must not be directly dependent to a low level class. A high level class which is used low level, the high level class must be directly dependent to an interface. That's why you will see lots of interfaces in Magento 2. And you will also see that those interfaces are directly referenced into the class constructors because of that dependency inversion principle. So that at any time you can change the object in the constructor, just simply passing another object, and it will, since as we know, in the object-oriented programming principle, a child can be referenced to its father's name. So, in class B, if class B is a child and it is implementing some interface, then B, sorry. If there is interface I and B is implementing that interface and C is also implementing that interface, then C and B both can be referenced with the name of I. Means I can new C, but I is equals to new B. They both can be referenced with the I name. So that's why we can also use dependency inversion principle in dependency injection. The second thing is to facilitate plugin system. To facilitate plugin system, Magento 2 uses interceptor design patterns. Interceptor design patterns are basically that you change without changing the behavior of the class, you are inserting some functionality. That is already explained by Rahul sir, so I'm not going to repeat into that. And the third one is fast class loading. Why I am telling that fast class loading? Since because Magento 2 uses dependency injection and it says that you must pass all the dependencies inside the constructor. So if you are passing the dependency into the constructor, when one object is instantiated, it triggers a number of object creations. Suppose there are 20 to 30 dependencies inside a class. Then when that class is instantiated, those 20 to 30 objects will also get instantiated, and it will trigger another 20 to 30 objects to be instantiated. So it will be a slow loading process. To remove this drawback, Magento 2 introduced proxy design patterns. We will talk about them, how they work in our next slides. Code generation, how code generation works. There are three kind of classes that Magento 2 generates automatically. The first one is factory classes. As I have told you, dependency injection is used in Magento 2. To facilitate dependency injection, factory classes are generated automatically. Factory classes. If Magento 2 follows certain conventions to create code automatically, like if a class is suffixed with factory, when the object manager, I think all of you know object manager, if you are using Magento 2, if you not, object manager is the responsible person to create all the objects for the classes. So, what object manager does, it checks all the, it checks the class if it is suffixed with factory, it checks whether it is present in the current code base or not. If it is not present in the current code base, it is simply created inside the web generation folder. Now in this code, as you can see, that it is a controller class. I am just taking a snapshot of its constructor. Here you can see that there is a forward factory class referenced inside the constructor. That forward factory class is not present in the current Magento code base. But when the dependency, the object manager sees this factory after that forward, then what it does, it creates that forward factory class with some fixed structure inside the web generation folder and uses it to create that object. You see how it looks like the factory class. As you can see, that this is a factory class automatically generated. All the factory classes will have the same structure. There is a constructor, and the constructor, the object manager is passed. You can see there is object manager interface. It is passed into the constructor. So this is what dependency inversion principle. That you are not passing the concrete object, you are passing the interceptor. And the second is the name of the instance that you want. And there is one method create. What create is doing is simply calling the create method of object manager. The object manager's create method responsibility is to create a new object of the class. So you will be thinking we should have passed that forward class directly into the constructor. Why we need this forward package? So there is one reason for that. But there can be two types of objects in many classes, like managers, services. These are injectable objects. You can reference them directly into the constructor of a class, and it will set the object of the class. But non-injectable objects, like products, categories, and sales, they are all non-injectable objects. Since they are entities, they have certain identities, certain states. They can have. And one more thing to understand is, if I pass a constructor injection, that object manager will create will always be a singleton. It will not create a new object. It will always return you an old object that is already been created by some other class. So if a class having identity, what will happen? It will return an old object, and you might not need that object. Another example, like if there is a collection class, like a product collection, you are referencing it directly to the constructor. Maybe that constructor class object is currently present, and it is having 1000 products inside that. And when you reference it directly into the constructor, what it will do? It will return the same object, and loading that 1000 product object inside the constructor is not good. That's why Manager 2 provides factory classes generated automatically for this purpose. I will dispute that. Plugin coordination, as it is already explained, I don't need to get into that. Plugins uses interceptor design pattern. You can see how we can declare a plugin. We can declare a plugin inside the dependency injection XML file, di.xml. It is a type declaration. This type name represents the class name, which we are referring here. This class, the type declaration simply what it does, it changes the lifestyle of the object. It can change object methods, it can change object constructor parameters. So that's how it changes the object's lifestyle. Here what it is doing, we are defining a plugin inside this type declaration. So what it will do, it will call some method defined in this class. This is the class created by the developer itself, and this is the class which is created by manager. So you can define any method of this class with some certain conventions that has been already explained by outside. So that's how you can change the method of this class inside this class. When the object method encounters type declaration with a plugin definition, what it does, it creates an interceptor class instead of that class, and it returns into the constructor. This is an interceptor class that has been already explained. Proxy code condition. As I told you, the third need is fast loading of classes. Since dependency injection can slow down the processes a little bit. Little bit or it can slow down the processes. So, proxy code generation. What is proxy? Proxy is a kind of circuit which means that acting on behalf of others. Means the proxy class is acting on behalf of other class. That other class must be a class that will take a lot of time to instantiated, and we don't want to instantiate that class inside the class. So what we can do, we can change that object with a proxy object, and the proxy object will be loaded very easily. You can see how it is loaded. Again, the type declaration with dependency EI.html. Inside this type declaration, what we are doing, that time we were defining a plugin into the type declaration. This time we are changing the constructor parameter. These arguments, we are changing the category repository. We want the object of category repository, but we encounter that there is a parameter passed in the constructor category. And this category object creation is a very costly process. So what we are doing here, we are changing that category by the proxy object. That's why we have added that proxy. And when Magento 2 object manager will find this entry and will see that a proxy is called, then it will create that proxy class inside the var generation folder. And that proxy class will extend all the extend this class and implement all the implementation it has done. Okay. So let's see how it looks like in proxy class. This is a proxy class, and you can see that this proxy class has extended the category class. Okay, and it implements a non-interceptable interface. This is simply a marker interface. A marker interface simply means that it will not have any member variables, it will not have any methods. It is just for signaling that you don't need to intercept this class, or this is already generated class, so you don't need to intercept this class. That's why it is implementing non-interceptable interface. And this is the constructor of that proxy class, and we are seeing that there is no calling of parent constructor. It is extending the category class, and it is not calling the parent constructor. That's why it is fastening the process of object creation. So and proxy works like a lazy loading. Means it will only create that object when you will need that. It will not create until you will not call it. You can see that in this slide. This is a common method in all proxies, underscore get subject. What this method does, it simply gets the object of the category class that is being proxied. Here you can say if this subject property is set, it is returning the same object. If it is not set, then what it is doing, it is creating a new instance or creating an old instance. That depends on the DI you have configured, since proxy classes are always already exposed to dependency injection tool. We have some methods in the category class that is overridden in the proxy class. All the public methods are overridden here, and you can see it is nothing doing. It is doing nothing. It is simply calling the object and the same method inside that, and it is returning that method. So all the public methods are extended. That's how the proxy reduces the time. Now, after discussing how code generation works, why we should use code generation, why we should know about code generation, there are some benefits of code generation. Like we don't need to write test cases for the generated classes. Since generated classes are already generated by Magento 2, they are already tested and there will be no errors such like semicolon missing or anything else. So you don't need to write test cases for the proxies. Fast loading, as I have already told you, depends. Using dependency injection can slow down the class loading process. So finally, you need to use proxies, and proxies need to be generated automatically. And it is the best solution for customization. Since plugin system is used in Magento 2 for facilitating that plugin system, Magento 2 uses interceptors. Interceptors are also generated in the code base automatically. So it is the best solution for the customization. And generalized approach, since all the generated classes have the same structure, and if a developer knows about one class, he can know about every other generated classes. Like if he knows about the product factory, then he can assume that category factory is going to have create method. All the factories are going to have create method. So it is a generalized approach. Thank you very much. That's it for now. If you have any questions,